being felicitated by Mr. Ramjit Malani. And I would address today two key issues regarding Mumbai and how Mumbai is in hands of some media and how media is maligning and casting aspersions on those seven islands. Advocate Shrestha, may I start?
Yeah, you can begin. You can begin by all means.
Yeah. Sir, most welcome. I just want to ask you one question. The fourth estate is repeatedly, committing or repeatedly making some bullshit comments on Mumbai. Do you agree with it?
No, it is very unfortunate choice of words. The language is also absolutely unwarranted, unjustified, and uncalled for. Mumbai is a truly cosmopolitan city. It is a city of resilience. It is a city of tolerance. It has an accommodative spirit. It has people of all hues and colors.
Correct.
If the fourth estate is casting aspersions on Mumbai by making certain comments which dampens the spirit of Mumbai or hurts the sentiments of people of Mumbai or offends the sensibilities of people of Mumbai, then it entails an apology. The particular news channel that is indulging in it must apologize, must regret, and owes an explanation to the people of this city that why it is doing so. Because I don't think that this city is in any way a liability, or this city is in any way causing harm to anybody. This city has fulfilled dreams of n number of people. They could be film stars, they could be entrepreneurs, they could be lawyers, they could be people from any walk of life.
You want me to say people from the eclectic society with
right from people from the eclectic to the elite, to right from the people to the lowest strata of society. Everybody lives in this city and everybody dreams. This city consists of people who have aspirations. This city consists of people who are middle class, who travel by trains, and they live a happy life.
Let me ask you a question.
But
Let me quote what Mr. Your prominent lawyer, Mr. Ramjit Malani, once said to a very prominent anchor when Karan Thapar asked one of the most prominent lawyers and your guru, Mr. late Sri Ramjit Malani, that don't you feel that when you take up Manu Sharma's case, is it moral, fitting, and proper? And the answer was from Mr. Ramjit Malani was, I don't think it is going to malign my image. In fact,
as a matter of fact, Karan Thapar must understand as a senior journalist that every accused has a right of defense and right to access of a lawyer of his choice.
Absolutely.
So Ram Jethmalani was doing his constitutional duty of defending him, and Ram Jethmalani was defending him in capacity of an appellate lawyer. He had not appeared for him in the trial court.
Absolutely, he was just reading the records.
So the media, the anchors today, the top-notch anchors, and the media. In media, there is a subject on law where they are taught what is the right of the accused.
Okay.
So, unless the court of competent jurisdiction decides the guilt or innocence of the accused, the media cannot pre-decide that and demonize the accused.
Then what is happening in Mumbai right now? There are certain television anchors who are thinking that about God.
They are over.
Okay, now let me comment and say that don't you feel that
Kiska phone tha?
they are just okay.
They are overstepping their limits.
Ramjit Malani has said openly to Karan Thapar he is crossing all the limits of an interviewer as an anchor. Then tell me one thing. Again, I am telling you the same thing. Don't you feel there are certain television channels and anchors who are crossing their limits?
There are television anchors who are crossing their limits because they believe that they are the judge, jury, and prosecutor today, but they are not.
Do you feel they have lost their ethics, moral? In fact, they have scattered their ethics, morals, and principles.
They have jettisoned their ethics off the cliff.
Okay, this particular city has given people cream de la cream, and they have given a lot of opportunities. Mumbai is a city of opportunities. It is a land of gold. There is a book titled called Mumbai, a city of gold where Portuguese have arrived, and after that, the British All India Company established, and the Britishers came. They were knowing that those 7 humid islands are nothing but a center of huge opportunities, and people they can dream it, and people who have come in this city, they have made their fortunes. Then why some people, some elements are purposely on purpose destroying the very image of Mumbai?
You see, there are vested interests everywhere, and there are vested interests and people with ulterior motive that are doing this, and they will continue to do this. They've been doing this much before this media onslaught that you're talking about. Before that, also.
Okay.
So these vested interests will continue to damage the reputation of this Mumbai. But Mumbai reputation is very strong. Mumbai reputation is not fragile that it will fall like a pack of cards.
I never say it is going to fragile, but don't you feel there is a plan to ramshackle the very image of Mumbai?
There's a plan to ramshackle the image of every city. There are vested interests everywhere. They are trying to do that. There are nefarious elements. There are notorious elements who are trying to do that. But they are not going to succeed.
There is one particular uncle who is calling Chief Minister is not maintaining the protocol of calling him a CM. Do you feel that is it moral, fitting and proper to call someone by his name? Because
no, that is absolutely inappropriate, bereft of protocol. That is not in keeping with the standards of journalism, which is being taught in school of journalism.
Should he consult some image consultancy school, or should he consult?
He should go back to his school of journalism and learn journalism and come back.
Why not journalism? Even he should get some courses in etiquette and manners by Emily Post. Don't you feel so?
Absolutely. He must learn basic etiquettes and manners, and when he should be addressing certain particular personality. He may dislike. I may dislike a public figure, but that does not give me a right to cast aspersions on him. I can't cast aspersions on a public figure just because I dislike. I can constructively criticize a public figure if I dislike, but I don't have a right to indulge in mudslinging or washing dirty linen in public. That right I don't have.
You said it, Shersha. Let me ask you this question before we wrap up, and we will go for a second round. Let me ask you, what is media trial? And your Guruji has given
there is no such thing as media trial. There is investigative journalism where journalists investigate into a particular case to dig out something if an investigative agency has not probed a particular aspect of a case. Okay, that is investigative journalism. But then, media trial is media going on trying to decide and trying to project to its viewers whether this particular person is guilty or is not guilty by bringing certain facts. It could be concocted facts, fabricated facts. So there should be nothing like media trial. Something like media trial in a democracy should not exist. There can be, media has a right to investigate to some extent with certain restraint. There is no such thing as media trial. There should not be media trial in this country.
Let me conclude that what media is doing is nothing but this does not fit in the rules of media.
The media should recognize its limits, where to draw the line. I cannot go on projecting somebody as accused unless the court does. Let the investigative agencies do the job. The authority is conferred upon investigative agency. The authority is conferred upon the courts, not upon the media.
Absolutely.
Media can gather facts and they should accurately depict it to their viewers, show it to their viewers. They cannot distort it. They have no right to distort it.
Well-renowned public prosecutor Mr. Ujjwal Nikam has openly said and challenged that the statements, what media is showing that, WhatsApp chat cannot be taken as an evidence. What is your opinion on this?
Absolutely yes, because it is inadmissible evidence, because as per electronic record it could be inadmissible evidence. That is a technicality. That is a technical argument where there are conflicting judgments of the Supreme Court and the High Court.
Sushant Singh Rajput is no more. Do you feel after a huge outcry, CBI has come into picture? After that, I think ED has come into picture. After that, CAB is there in the picture. Now, don't you feel this is nothing but a hodgepodge?
It has become a mess because too many investigative agencies have come into the picture. I hope the truth comes out. I don't know what's going on. What the CBI does now, the NCB is there. You have the ED there. it is initially it seemed like a simple suicide case, but now it seems like a huge case with many ramifications. What
So
is
you mean to say that media is just jumping the guns?
No, media has blown it out of proportion. Media has blown it out of proportion. It has magnified it, and I don't know what is going to be the conclusion ultimately.
Is it like media is running some Broadway show or running some insidious propagandistic
It is
vehicle
leading a
against Maharashtra
sedulous,
government?
it is leading a sedulous campaign for sure. It is leading a sedulous campaign
For whom?
It will be for Sushant Singh. It is for Sushant
You
Singh.
mean to
Seems
say
like Sushant
you
Singh.
mean to say that now let us talk about the public figure and let's cross-examine this man. DCP Gupteshwar Pandey was speaking much sentimental man, was talking about Sushant Singh Rajput case, and today he has publicly announced that he is going to be in politics. What is your take on Gupteshwar Pandey?
He has resigned.
No, he has resigned. He has said he is resigned.
He's given voluntarily. He's opted for VRS,
Absolutely, but
and he's going to contest election.
but is he not man of patience? Why
No,
did
no,
not
he's
he
not
didn't
a man
have
of-
patience of little waiting for Sushant Singh Rajput? Case outcome.
No, it is his choice. He has resigned and opted to choose. That is his personal choice. Who am I to comment on that?
Okay. Let me ask you one final question, then we will wrap up. That a girl in India is being raped. Okay, there are several rape cases also. What we find, then we are into Beti Bachao Andolan, but every day, every single day, a rape happens, which is inhuman, a very brutal. I don't have words because I lack words here. But then, don't you feel that people like those media people, they should take up this case and they should forget those
I think media is highlighting these cases. Media is highlighting these cases. All we need is a speedy trial and stringent punishment. That is the need of the hour.
Sure.
Media is highlighting these cases. There is a UN crime, social media. There is a
You
UN
mean to
crime.
say if just because Sushant Singh Rajput was a star and his stardom can be used for a political, some political interest, I don't know.
for political expediency.
Yes, absolutely. And a girl who's dead, who cannot stand for herself, and she cannot publicly come out because now the dead spirits never come alive unless she's a devil. So this woman, do you feel she's going to get justice? As in Nirbhaya's case, it took long time.
It may take long time, but you see, rapes happen every 54 minutes. A rape occurs in this country.
Okay,
And now the rapes have increased, but there are also instances of false rape cases which cannot be denied, and which people are not. A lot of people believe that every rape case is a genuine rape case. So we need to take cognizance of also false rape cases which are foisted on men, and men are implicated. So that is also one aspect which we cannot turn a blind eye to. So a rape has happened. That girl deserves justice. The accused deserves stringent punishment. The person has to be taken to task, and the law must take its own course. It's not that rape has never happened before. Now suddenly a rape happens and then there's a UN crime. Otherwise, rapes have happened in every regime. It's not that in BJP regime the rapes are happening and Congress it never
I'm
happened.
not saying that, but should I say that the lawmakers are more clever than the lawbreakers are more clever than the lawmakers?
The lawmakers, always honest people are simpletons and crooks are intelligent. That's what my Guru Jethmalani used to tell me.
With almost a Mona Lisa smile on your face, I am turning all those serious issues to a seraphic smile. Shreyas Rao, it was wonderful talking to you. Thanks very much. And we will meet for the second time. Thank you very much, sir.